Imagine a vast open grassland under a wide blue sky. This was the world of a young boy named Temujin, born around the year 1162. We know him today as the great Genghis Khan, but his beginnings were far from grand. He was the son of a minor chieftain Yasuge from a small Mongol tribe. His early life was filled with constant hardship and danger. The Mongol tribes were always fighting among themselves over land, animals, and power. Life was tough on the unforgiving steppes of Central Asia, and survival was a daily struggle. Temujin learned from a very young age that to stay alive he had to be strong, clever, and ready for anything that came his way. This harsh childhood shaped the man he would become. When Temujin was only 9 years old, a terrible event changed his life forever. His father, Yasuge, was poisoned by a rival tribe, the Tatars. Suddenly, young Temujin and his family were left without a leader and without protection. Their own tribe, seeing them as weak, abandoned them completely. They were cast out to survive on their own in the wilderness. Temujin, his mother Holun, and his siblings had to hunt small animals and gather roots just to eat. It was a time of extreme poverty and desperation. This experience taught Temujin a bitter but valuable lesson about loyalty and betrayal, hardening his resolve to one day create a world where such injustice could not happen. The years that followed were filled with constant peril. Temujin was hunted by the very people who had once followed his father. He was captured and enslaved, forced to wear a heavy wooden collar that restricted his movement. But even in this desperate situation, his spirit was not broken. He showed incredible courage and cunning by managing to escape his captors. He found allies in unexpected places, like a young man named Boorchu, who helped him recover his stolen horses and became his first loyal follower. These early struggles were like a trial by fire, forging a leader who understood suffering and knew the importance of trust and friendship in a world full of enemies. As he grew into a young man, Temujin began to build a reputation for himself. He made a powerful alliance by marrying Borte, a girl he had been betrothed to since childhood. This marriage connected him to her influential tribe, the Olkanut. When Borte was later kidnapped by a rival tribe, the Merkits, Temujin showed his emerging leadership. He sought help from his father's old friend, Togrul Khan, and his childhood blood brother, Jamuka. Together, they launched a daring rescue mission and successfully brought Borte back. This victory was more than just a personal triumph. It announced to the warring tribes that a new and formidable leader was rising on the steppes. Temujin's goal was bigger than just personal survival or revenge. He dreamed of something no one had ever achieved before, uniting all the scattered, feuding Mongol tribes under a single banner. This was an incredibly difficult task. For generations, these tribes had known only conflict, raiding each other for resources and glory. Temujin used a combination of diplomacy and military might to achieve his vision. He rewarded those who joined him with loyalty and a share of the spoils, creating a powerful incentive to follow him. To those who opposed him, he was a relentless and formidable opponent. He understood that unity would bring strength and end the constant cycle of violence that had defined Mongol life for so long. His methods were revolutionary for the time. Instead of organizing his army based on old tribal lines, which often led to infighting, Temujin broke up the traditional clan structures. He reorganized his warriors into new units of 10, 100, and 1,000 men. Loyalty was now to him and the unit, not to an old tribal chief. This created a disciplined and unified fighting force that was incredibly effective. He also promoted soldiers based on their skill and loyalty, not their family connections or noble birth. This meritocracy meant that the best and most capable men rose through the ranks, making his army stronger and more efficient than any of his rivals. One of his greatest challenges came from his childhood friend and blood brother Jamuka. For a time they were allies, but their ideas about leadership were very different. Jamuka believed in the old aristocratic system, where only nobles could rule. Temujin believed in promoting people based on merit. This disagreement eventually led them to become bitter rivals, each leading a coalition of tribes against the other. Their conflict culminated in a series of great battles that would decide the future of the Mongol people. Temujin's superior organization and the unwavering loyalty of his followers proved to be the decisive factors in these crucial fights. After years of strategic alliances and hard-fought battles, Temujin defeated all his major rivals, including the powerful Tatars, Kirates, and Naimans, and finally, Jamuka himself. In the year 1206, a great gathering of all the Mongol chieftains known as A was held by the Onon River. At this assembly, the leaders officially recognized Temujin as the supreme ruler of all the Mongols. They gave him the title Genghis Khan, which means universal ruler. The endless wars between the tribes were over. For the first time in history, the people of the steppes were united as one nation, ready to follow their new leader wherever he might lead them. Now, the undisputed leader of the Mongols, Genghis Khan, turned his attention outward. His newly unified nation needed resources and security, which meant dealing with the powerful empires that bordered their lands. His first major campaign was against the Western Xia kingdom, located to the south of Mongolia. This was a crucial test for his army. The Western Xia had fortified cities and a large established military, things the Mongols had little experience with. Genghis Khan proved to be a brilliant military strategist. He used new tactics like siege warfare, which involved capturing engineers from his enemies to learn how to break down city walls. After several years of fighting, the Western Xia submitted and became a vassal state, paying tribute to the Mongols. Next, Genghis Khan set his sights on the powerful Jin dynasty in northern China. This was a much bigger and wealthier empire, and the war against them was long and brutal. The Mongols were masters of cavalry warfare on the open plains, but they had to adapt to fight in the densely populated lands of China. They learned to use deception, feigned retreats, and lightning-fast attacks to confuse and overwhelm their enemies. In 1215, they captured the Jin capital, Zhongdu, which is modern-day Beijing. This victory was a monumental achievement. It gave the Mongols access to immense wealth, advanced technology, and skilled administrators who would help them govern their rapidly growing territories. The Mongol expansion then turned west. The catalyst for this next great campaign was a diplomatic incident. Genghis Khan had sent a trade caravan to the powerful Khwarezmian Empire, which controlled much of Central Asia. The governor of a Khwarezmian city, Otrar, foolishly attacked the caravan, killing the merchants and seizing their goods. When Genghis Khan sent envoys to demand justice, the Shah of Khwarezmian had them executed. This was a grave insult that could not be ignored. Enraged, Genghis Khan launched a massive invasion in 1219, vowing to punish the Shah and his empire for their arrogance and brutality. The invasion of the Khwarezmian Empire was a masterpiece of military coordination and strategy. Genghis Khan divided his army into several columns, attacking the empire from multiple directions at once. This multi-pronged assault overwhelmed the Khwarezmian defenses. Great cities like Samarkand, Bukhara, and Urgench, which were famous centers of culture and learning, fell one by one. The campaign was devastating, but it showcased the incredible discipline and mobility of the Mongol army. Within just a few years, the once mighty Khwarezmian Empire was completely destroyed, and the Mongol Empire now stretched from the Pacific Ocean deep into the heart of Central Asia. Genghis Khan was much more than just a brilliant general. He was also a visionary ruler who laid the foundation for a vast and well-organized empire. One of his most important achievements was the creation of a written legal code called the Yasa. This set of laws governed everything from property rights to military discipline and social behavior. It forbade theft, adultery, and betrayal, and it promoted religious tolerance, allowing people of different faiths to practice their beliefs freely within the empire. The Yasa created order and stability across his domains, uniting diverse peoples under a single system of justice and making his empire easier to govern. His leadership also transformed communication and trade across Asia. To connect the distant parts of his empire, Genghis Khan established a highly efficient postal system known as the. This was a network of relay stations with fresh horses and riders, allowing messages and officials to travel incredibly quickly across thousands of miles. This system not only helped him command his armies and administer his empire, but also made travel safer for merchants and diplomats. It led to the flourishing of the Silk Road, the ancient trade route connecting east and west, bringing new goods, ideas, and technologies to different parts of the world. Genghis Khan's military innovations changed the art of war forever. He perfected the use of mounted archers, who could ride with incredible speed and shower their enemies with arrows from a distance. He valued intelligence gathering, using spies and scouts to learn everything about his enemy's strengths and weaknesses before a battle. He also mastered psychological warfare, often offering cities the chance to surrender peacefully. Those who did were usually spared, but those who resisted faced total destruction. This reputation for both mercy and ruthlessness often convinced cities to surrender without a fight, saving Mongol lives and resources. When Genghis Khan died in 1227 during a campaign, he left behind an empire that was the largest contiguous land empire in history. His sons and grandsons, such as Ogedei, Kublai, and Hulagu, continued his conquests, expanding Mongol rule into Russia, the Middle East, and all of China. While his conquests were often brutal, his rule also created a period of unprecedented peace and connection known as the, or Mongol Peace. By uniting a vast part of the world, he created a bridge between civilizations, forever changing the course of global history. From a boy abandoned on the steppes, he had risen to become one of the most influential figures the world has ever known.